Ciao guys, welcome back here on the channel. Fabrizio Romano as always to keep you posted on the transfer market. Ciao Fra, how are you?
Ciao Fabri, it was an intense Saturday, right, with the Champions League final. We are back here talking about all the business as usual.
And many things we will have to mention. We have to talk about managers, players, as always. It's still very busy around Europe for managers, but then the players market is about to start. And so let's jump into it together. Here we are, guys, ready to answer some of your questions, ready to give you the updates on several stories. Again, players, managers, with plenty of news around the world. And so let's start with it.
Let's start with the players, because right after, in the meantime of the Champions League final, there were some quotes, important quotes of Rafa Leao about his future. So let's start with that.
Yeah, one of the breaking news of the weekend for sure is Rafa Leao deciding to leave AC Milan. That's a confirmation of something I've already been reporting here on the channel. If you are following here on YouTube, I said I think in March, in April, that there could be movement around Rafa Leao in the summer, but now is the player himself taking a strong position, going public in a video interview, so there is even no chance to deny anything. Leao has been very honest, very open. Speaking to Sport TV in Portugal, he said, "Thank you, AC Milan. I had the chance to grow. The club gave me everything. I gave everything to the club, but it's time to move on. It's time to try a new challenge. It's time to try a new league," Rafa Leao said. And I think it's an important point because he's already making clear that he wants to leave Italy and try something different. So there is going to be movement now because his agents have started conversations around Europe to understand what's the best solution possible. In terms of concrete options, what I can tell you now is that only Turkish clubs have decided to make an approach and start discussing numbers, contract, salary, eventual transfer fee. So only from Turkey, top clubs like Galatasaray and some calls from Fenerbahce to understand the situation of Leao. But at the moment, still nothing really advanced or concrete because Leao wants to understand if there is maybe other clubs ready to join the race. Many questions on Barcelona. At the moment, I'm not aware of anything concrete between Barcelona and Leao. The player has been offered to Barcelona several times, but as of today, there is no concrete movement. Let's see if some Premier League club will decide to consider this possibility. What's sure is that the player made very clear, even in public, that he's going to leave AC Milan.
There is also the World Cup, right? Where it can shine, and then maybe there will be some updates also,
for sure.
Also after the World Cup. Speaking of breaking news, well, yesterday, yes, there was a Champions League final, but all the eyes were also on Liverpool because there was a breaking news, one of your exclusives news about Arne Slot leaving the job at Liverpool, and then Andoni Iraola becoming the front runner for the job as well.
Yes, because Andoni Iraola is fully expected to become the next Liverpool manager. Let's give, obviously, Liverpool some time to have conversations with the agents, with lawyers, and fix the details of the contract. But Liverpool internally made their decision. They will go for Iraola. As I mentioned yesterday, he's number 1, 2, and 3 option in the shortlist of the club. I saw some names around in the recent days and hours for Liverpool job, but many people say that it's possible that Arne Slot leaves, and now we hear many names. There are no other names. The name is Andoni Iraola. Andoni Iraola is ready to take the job. Andoni Iraola didn't take the opportunity to go maybe to Bayer Leverkusen, maybe to AC Milan, maybe to Crystal Palace, because he was waiting behind the scenes for this scenario for Arne Slot to leave, and now Iraola is ready to take over. So I think it's a matter of short time, and we will have the here we go.
It was a big setback on Saturday for Arsenal, and of course after losing the Champions League final, the question now is what can we expect from them in the summer, if there will be changes or not. So what's your take about Arsenal future in the summer?
I think it's going to be a busy summer for Arsenal. In the next videos, in the next days, we will talk also about Paris Saint-Germain. Congratulations to Paris Saint-Germain, because they will also be busy in the market. Obviously not that busy. They will just try to put some touches to their fantastic squad, but PSG will also do something. But for Arsenal, it's going to be an important summer. Obviously, remains a fantastic season, winning the Premier League after 22 years, Champions League finalist till the final penalty. So Arsenal are still very satisfied with what they did. But in the summer, they're going to be busy. I think there could be 3-4 signings for Arsenal, also based on exits, but there will be movement up front. I already told you, winger is an absolute priority for Arsenal. A striker is a possibility. In midfield and at right back, Arsenal have been searching for players since January already. Then in January, they didn't find the right opportunity, and so they didn't want to waste their money. But I think Arsenal will be very busy this summer, will invest imported money, will try to complete their squad in the best way possible. They see an opportunity in several clubs making changes in Premier League. Liverpool will have a new manager. Manchester City City will have a new manager, Chelsea will have a new manager, Arsenal will stay consistent with Mikel Arteta. So they believe it's the opportunity to put the right players in, to include some new faces, and then try to open a winning era under Mikel Arteta.
Speaking of the summer, we need to talk about the future of a former now Manchester City legend, I would say, Bernardo Silva. You always said that his future would be clear before the World Cup. I don't know if that changed in the last days, or what's the update on his future?
No, that remains the case. He wants everything clarified before the World Cup. That's the hope of Bernardo. Then, being a free agent, he can sign any moment, but just to have the direction. And the direction remains La Liga. So I can tell you that Bernardo Silva, 99.9% will play in La Liga. So despite the offers from the MLS, despite the approaches from Italy, Bernardo can imagine his future in La Liga. Now, he has two proposals on the table. Different proposals, also in terms of length of the contract, in terms of salary. So he has to make a decision on the sporting point of view and also on the financial point of view, because Atletico Madrid are still on the table with their proposal to Jorge Mendes, agent of Bernardo Silva. And then there is Barcelona. Barcelona also approaches Jorge Mendes. Barcelona are also speaking to Bernardo Silva. So it's going to be on Bernardo. It's also two completely different situations in terms of, for example, that's just my opinion, it's not news. But for example, at Barcelona, there are many players in midfield. At Atletico Madrid, Bernardo could be a regular starter. Then Barcelona are at a different stage of their process, of their project. And so for sure, Barcelona maybe are closer to some different targets. So it depends. Bernardo has to make a decision. Atletico are still there. Barcelona are still pushing. Both clubs are in, but for sure it's going to be on Bernardo, being a free agent, to decide what he wants to do next. So in the next days, we will have updates on Bernardo Silva for sure, but the destination is going to be La Liga.
Going back to the Premier League and Manchester United, what's the update on Ederson? They were really close, right, to join agreement. What's missing there?
Yeah, what's happening is very technical now, because Atalanta have announced finally this weekend that Cristiano Giuntoli is their new director of football, that Maurizio Sarri is going to be the new manager. So Atalanta are now announcing what they planned a few weeks ago, and that's still important because this is going to be the people in charge of Atalanta and able to close the deal with Manchester United. So with intermediaries working on the deal, Man United have already reached very advanced stages of the deal. It's very advanced. Ederson to Man United. On player side is done, waiting on these final touches between the two clubs. But again, Atalanta have now new people in charge, new faces, especially the sporting director, Cristiano Giuntoli, is obviously going to be very important in order to prepare this deal with Manchester United, to close the numbers of this deal as well. Is not going to be, as was reported at the beginning from Italy, more than 50 million euros. Was never going to be the case. Man United hope to close this deal around 40-45 million euros. They are working again on these final touches, but I expect for sure Ederson to be a Man United player unless something crazy happens.
I think this is it. I don't know if you have other updates. Otherwise, we can keep in touch and let's see what's going to happen in the next hours.
Yeah, just denying what happened from Italy. They are mentioning Harry Maguire as an option for Italian clubs, but my understanding is that Maguire is staying at Man United. And on these and much more, guys, we will be together here on the channel as every single day. So thank you for following us here on YouTube. And remember to comment, to be part of the family here on YouTube, to subscribe. And I will see you soon. Ciao, thank you.